Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us. We're going to have a little teaser here. So my name's Sarah. I'm with So Steady, and I'm joined by Lorena As, and she's one of our fabulous educators for ruler work, and she has an upcoming class for you. It's called the Feathers and More Ruler Organizer. We're going to talk about that. That is going to be coming up on the 17th of February, so in a couple weeks here at 11 o'clock Pacific time. And you can, we're going to talk about it. To sign up, you can hop onto our Facebook page, and I'll even show you real quick what you're going to see. So on our Facebook page, here we go. So this is what you're going to see. Go to the events on our Facebook page, and here it is, Feathers and More, and you can learn a little bit more about it. You just scroll on down. The time is mentioned, and this is the link you want. And I will put that in the chat, so then you'll be able to click on that, learn more. We do have a variety of educator or different host stores. So here's what you're going to get, and you can join the Facebook Live. You can either sign up today here, or what we encourage you to do is we have a lot of host stores helping us spread the word, get people excited about ruler work. These are all the different stores nationwide that are participating, and if you sign up by clicking one of these links, that particular store is going to be supported. So please, if you can't support local, definitely support within the industry and support someone's local. So that's always great. So let's see, Lorena, let's see what you're going to teach us and what we can look forward to on the 17th.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sarah, and thanks everybody for joining us today. I'm really excited. So this is the Feathers and More Ruler Organizer. And what it is a project that will allow you to practice feathers or learn feathers for the first time, and also create a project that's going to give you a great place to store some of those wonderful rulers that you are acquiring. I know that I am acquiring more every day, it seems like, and having a nice place to store them. And the organizer allows you to roll it all up and take it to a retreat if we ever get to start going out and seeing each other again in person. So you can take it to a retreat, you can take it to a class, you can take it to the weekend of quilting with your girlfriends, boyfriends, whoever you quilt with. So let's get started, and I'll show you a little bit about what we're going to be doing and the things you're going to need so that you can be all set up and ready to go and play along with me when I do this online, or you can just chill and watch, and you'll have a month to come back and watch it again and again and again. So hopefully you'll watch it enough that you'll get really tired of seeing my smiling face. Hopefully you won't see my smiling face too much. You'll see rulers. This is the pattern that is going to be included when you sign up, the Feather Ruler Organizer. And it has a detailed list of what you'll need in order to get started. And I'll talk about that as I go through today. So without further ado, Sarah, why don't I turn my camera around, and you may chat for just a minute if you'd like, and I'll turn my camera around and you can see what's on my sewing or on my cutting table. And we'll talk about how to get ready for this and what you're going to need, and maybe in a few minutes I'll show you a feather or two. So let me turn my camera around.
Sounds good. Thanks, Lorena. And right now, so here we'll go back to the screen. We have a ton of different events that we host, and this is one where we're so excited that Lorena is getting to teach this more in-depth project. And we do have a lot of other courses, you know, Ruler Work for Beginner, which I'm sure some of you have taken. You can always see all our event listings on our Facebook page, as well as our SewSteady.com website. This is great. This right here, when you sign up, it's just $10 for the class. You get the printed, or you get access to the project, and then we have all the recommended tools. So this is where when you click either to support one of the host stores or So Steady directly, right here is where you're going to go. You'll put in, you know, any notes you need to let us know, but the $10, and then we list some of the tools you're going to need, which Lorena is going to talk about here in a moment, and she's going to show us more about this amazing feather organizer.
I am struggling here. Hang on just a second. I think I'm going to have to turn it around and use the other camera because
Okay,
you're
that's
not
all
going
right.
to be able to see that. So
Well,
hang on.
sure, I'll show them some more fun pictures. So here's an example of what that, let's see if we can get a larger picture here for you. There we go. So here is that feather organizer. I believe that's the back side of it. So you get to see a lot of the beautiful quilting that's done. And here's another, I believe, sample just in a different color. So clearly, you know, picking whatever color or printed textile you're into. It'll feature a lot of feather work. So our basic feathers, our feather spines, some fun wreaths, and even some of the basics, you know, of course, you always got to know how to do a line.
Yep.
That's always good. Oh, and it looks like Lorena's in position and I see some nice navy blue.
Woohoo! Yeah. Okay. So I can't see what's going on because I had to turn the camera around. So if you can't see something, Sarah, let me, or folks, let me know, because I can't see what you're seeing. So I have the basic fabric laid out here, and what I started with is just a yard of this navy blue fabric, just a yard, straight yard, squared it up, called it happy. Then I have an accent fabric that I'm going to be using for the zipper covers and for the top little piece right here, and also for the binding and for the hanging sleeve on the back, because it's always nice to have a way to hang this up so that you can have it in your room and have it accessible. So it's a yard of fabric cut in half right along the fold line. That's all it is. This is a 4-inch piece of fabric that I added to the top up here. And it's just a nice little touch, but you certainly don't have to do it. These are the other pieces that are outlined in the pattern, the zipper covers, and also the fabric for the hanging sleeve on the back. And then I have marked out my fabric. So the markings on this correspond to what the pockets will be. And you'll see that I've got a line down here. Everything is marked from the seam line down, and that's in the instructions as well. So from the seam line down, each one of these pockets is marked, and they get smaller as they go toward the bottom, so that as this rolls up, they all fit nicely within each other and they nest nicely. So that's a fun part of this project. I have layered this with my backing fabric, which is just that straight yard of fabric. I have in here just one layer of batting, but what the pattern calls for is soft and stable. So you might be familiar with it. It's the Bianni's Soft and Stable. It's for bags and that sort of thing. It's actually a foam batting. It's a little bit rigid. It's a little bit thick. So it may challenge you a little bit in your quilting. If you don't want to do that, and that is completely understandable and acceptable, using 2 layers of batting in your bag will help give it a little more body. It's up to you. You can do 1 layer, the pattern calls for the soft and stable. You can do 2 layers of warm and natural, or whatever your batting of choice is. They all work. Then I spray based because this is a bigger piece of material. We're working on something that's maybe going to be a little shifty. And so I've spray basted everything together. I have one side, 2 sides that are lined up evenly. And then whatever happens over here on the edges, I don't care about because I'm going to be trimming that off anyway. So I just let this one be long on the top, and it'll all get trimmed up in the end. So I have marked these chalk lines to give me the areas where my panels will be. And that's in the instruction and what those chalk lines mean. These are actually going to be quilted lines. So I'll go over that just briefly because, as Sarah said, you couldn't have a quilting class without having at least one run around either the Sashly template or a straight line template that's going to give you nice straight lines as you go. Then we'll have those 4 panels and this little bit up here left to play with to do feathers. So what feathers are we going to do? Well, we're going to start with the feather template set. So there is a 5-inch, a 4-inch, a 3-inch, and a 2-inch. And each one of those comes in the feather template set. You'll want your stable tape on the back, and you'll notice that I have some little arrows on mine. Okay, I have all kinds of arrows on mine. Those will come off. We'll talk about where to put them and why you might want them. Those arrows are ruler stickers, and the ruler stickers are available. They come in these great bright colors so you can see what's going on. And I have found them to be invaluable in what we're trying to do here. So, Sarah, are you still seeing me? Because I look over at my other camera and I'm not seeing anything.
Well, I do see your hands. We are having a little bit, folks are having a jumpy, the video's a little jumpy.
Okay.
Typically, I find that if that is an issue, usually once we're done doing the live stream and it's recorded, often that is smoothed out because it's, you know, it's trying to do a lot of processing right now.
Okay.
And audio is fine. So it looks like right now everyone's saying it's frozen. I just see, oh, and then there was a jump, and now I see that you've laid things out. The only other thing would be if there's any other devices in your location that are on that can be turned off, or I know the worst part is if you're using wireless earbuds to the device that's also taking the video, that might be slowing it down.
Well, let me pop those out and see if that helps.
Okay.
Does that help at all?
Sound is still great, which is good.
Okay, good.
And let's see. I'm like, it seems a little less jumpy, and we'll have to see how folks give us feedback. Someone's saying their screen is fine. So far, it looks a little better to me as well.
Okay. Would it help if I turned off the other camera right now and we can turn it on when I go over to the machine?
Yeah, let's give that a shot. Might as well, right?
All right, let's do that. Let's just leave that one. And we'll see. Now I'm really flying blind. I really can't see what's going on. So
well, so far it's looking better and less jumpy, so we'll go with that.
Okay. You'll just have to pull my leash if something goes haywire and I don't recognize it.
Sure, I'll be like, turn left, turn left.
Okay, so we're going to use those 4 rulers in the feather template set. That's where we're going to start, because let's learn how to use feathers. And that's the easiest place to learn. The next thing that we're going to go to will be to use the feathered spine, or the feather spine, to create some lovely sinuous feathers. So feathers in nature, actually, they tend to run along a straight spine, but when we do feathers in quilting, we like to fill spaces. We like to have them wander around. So the feather spine is a great way to do that. It gives you this lovely curve. And again, lots of lines to be able to line things up on. And we'll talk about what some of those lines are. This is the 10-inch spine. So it has a little bit sharper curve than the 12-inch spine. The 12-inch, obviously 2 inches longer. So same offset, but over a longer period. So a little more sinuous curve. If you have one and not the other, not to worry, that is fine. Use what you have. And oh, well, here's somebody to help. And use whichever one you have, but you will want a feather spine because that's going to give you a way to play with those curves a little bit. So that's the basics of feathers. And then we're going to step out a little bit.
And yeah, Lorena, it looks like on my screen it's frozen, but
okay. Well,
and I would assume no one else in the house is using any internet connections.
No. The other person who, the other human in the house does not use internet.
There we go. That's all that.
Should I restart my iPad? Maybe that would help.
We could definitely do that. Looks like, yep, everyone's saying it's frozen, so
Okay, yeah.
they can hear us. That's good. That's a
let
good
me
thing.
let me just go away and I'll come back in and see if that helps.
Okay, no problem. And I'll chat with folks, put some comments in the section. All right. Well, thanks for your patience, everyone. Lorena will be right back with this little teaser. We hope that you can hang tight and join us a little longer. I'll show you my screen here. Again, this is the Feathers and More Ruler Organizer. So I know myself, keeping all my rulers organized, sometimes I just want a smaller satchel to get my favorites in rather than my entire collection, which I use the So Steady quilt bag, which is great and holds a lot. So this particular course, you know, everyone loves feathers, and this is going to translate so well to all the you know, all the borders you have, all, you know, so many projects and so many ways you can really utilize feathers. And it looks like Lorena's back, so let's see if she's any better here. Lorena, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. So
Yes.
far, it looks
Can
good.
you see me?
I can see you, and it's much smoother right now. So let's
Hey,
let's
okay.
go with it.
All right. Technology, you know, it's great when you work from home and your strong suit is knitting or quilting or gardening. You get to be your own IT person, and I am not an IT person. So thanks for bearing with me. I appreciate it. Okay, so I talked about some of the basics that we're going to use, and then we're going to do some feathers in circles. Well, how do you do feathers in circles? There are a ton of ways to do feathers in circles. Um, One way to do them is the way that we did in the very beginning when you had your 6-piece sampler template set. You had a little Spinifex template that made like a little flower, a little pointy flower, and it rotated around the presser foot. Well, you can do feathers the same way. Here are some examples of some feathers that you can do using the Spinifex technique. So you can see there are going to be lines where you're going to line up on chalk lines or pen lines, whatever your marker of choice is. Mine is a Choco liner, and I long ago ran out of the original chalk in it and refilled it with the Iron Away Pounce. So all of my lines will, mostly they brush away. If they don't brush away, they iron away eventually. And that gives us a great way to do feathers in a circle. Another way to do feathers is the circles on quilts. So circles on quilts, here's a nice big one. This is an 11.5-inch circle on quilt wreath that is a feathered wreath. Well, circles on quilts rotate around a pin. So they're going to give you that great, symmetrical, gorgeous feathered wreath around in a circle, and they're going to anchor on that pin. And again, you'll have some lines to line up to. We'll talk about how to mark those as we go along. So lots of different ways to do feathers, both straight feathers, curly feathers, feathers that go around in a wreath. And I really want you to use this as a jumping off point to play with feathers. Feathers are that thing, I think while I was gone, Sarah talked a little bit about how quilters all aspire to do feathers. And if you challenged me to draw a feather on here, it would be a disaster. I guarantee it. Even though I have the muscle memory now to be able to do the templates, actually freehanding a feather, either to draw it or to stitch it, it's a disaster. So I love that I have templates to be able to follow to do feathers that come out great every time I do them. I love that. And then there's another feather set, and we may or may not get to play with it, but it's the feathered leaf set. And these are still feathers. They work the same way, but in the feathered leaf template set, there are actually 5 leaf or feathered leaves for the templates, and also this template that gives you a finial. So a great way to finish a spine of feathers or to decorate the center of a spine of feathers, like we see right on here. So the feathered leaves are another template set. It's a feather. It works the same way, just a little bit more jazzy looking. And then there's also a circle wreath feathered leaf. Please do not challenge me to say that more than once. And a great way to go around in a circle with those feathered leaves and do some beautiful, beautiful work. So lots of different ways to play with feathers. And that's what this is going to be all about. This gives you a great little canvas to play with. That's what I encourage you to do. So, Sarah, are there any questions at this point?
So we have a couple. So folks are saying, hey, what's the cost of the class? It's $10. And when you, the link I'm putting in the discussion field, you'll notice that that takes you to probably an email a lot of folks have actually received, but it says, Facebook Live with Lorena, join the Facebook, and then it has the sign up for $10. Or you can also click and sign up through one of our host stores. It looks like there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different host stores. Let me show you again what that's going to look like. So this here is what you're going to, when you click the link I've put in the chat section, this is what you're going to see. And it tells you more details. There's your cost for $10 to join the class to get the digital download. And here's all the stores that you can sign up with. And there are exclusive discounts when you sign up with them. So we do encourage you, click one of your favorite stores right here. If one of these is your favorite, please do so. And you'll be emailed additional details for discounts from there.
Great. Okay. So some of the other supplies that you're going to need to complete the whole project will be some heavyweight vinyl. Just looks like this, and it's easy to sew through. It's really not a problem. I prefer getting mine rolled up because sometimes if it comes folded, then those creases become one with the project, and it's really hard to iron out vinyl. Okay, you can't do it. At least I can't. There may be some ways, but so some vinyl, and you'll need 4 22-inch zippers, polyester zippers, not metal, polyester. Some clover double-sided basting tape may help in the 1/4-inch width. That's optional. You can do that or not. Self-threading needles. I think we have these available now, don't we, Sarah?
Yes, we do have some on the
Great.
So Study website.
Okay, so your self-threading needles for knotting off your ends, because I'm a firm believer in tying knots. I'm not one of those that goes neat, 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 back and forth and then cuts it off. I just can't break the habit of leaving myself a nice long tail to tie in. So let's see. You're going to need a spacing gauge. I hope you have one. I hope it's not lost. I know that mine occasionally wanders off. You saw the little black furry friend that I have. So here's my spacing gauge on my Sarah Diddy necklace. And that way I always know where that is, or almost always know where it is. You'll want your machine all set up and ready to go to do free motion quilting with rulers. So you're going to want your ruler foot on. You're going to want a new 9014 top stitch needle, or the needle that works best in your experience. This is what I recommend for beginners. I don't know how many of you will have already taken the ruler work for beginners class or done some ruler work on your own. You certainly don't have to have had a lot of background in ruler work to be able to do this, but I am probably going to skip over a few of the basics. So I'm kind of touching on those right now. You will want a ruler work glider, because that's going to make your life so much easier, and a nice big flat surface. So your Sew Steady table will be most helpful. Let's see, an 8-point crosshair square. That's going to be this guy. And you'll want an 8-point crosshair square. It doesn't need to be as big as mine. I have the 12.5-inch because that's my go-to size. Whatever size you have will work as long as it's the 8-point. So I think that covers the basics of what's required for the class. What we're really going to be working on are the feathers, and I'll touch a little bit on how to do the zippers and how to do the pockets and a little bit of the finishing, but that's in the directions as well, but I don't want to leave you hanging on those. So with that, Sarah, should I go over to the machine?
Yeah, I think we do have some folks, they definitely want to see the project completed up close. One folks like, hey, how is that vinyl and zippers in relation to it? So maybe seeing it up close, and then definitely maybe a little bit of quilting.
Okay, well, I can do both of those. I'm going to turn my phone back on. And while we're waiting for that to come up, I'll turn this camera around. Maybe, no, I think what I'll do is just move this.
Perfect.
You see that?
Oh, yeah. And also, before we even get started there, do folks need to get any work done in advance, any prepping before the class?
Well, so helpful, but not absolutely necessary. It kind of depends on how they want to do the project. If they want to attach this top accent piece before we get started, that would be great. But I will go through the marking. So having a quilt sandwich that's ready to mark would be lovely. But other than that, no, not really. So having the basic fabric cut and having their quilt sandwich ready to go, either with or without this accent piece, that would be most helpful.
Nice. And I do want to let everyone know that if you sign up to join the class, you're going to be able to re-watch the video for a month, for 30 days. So you don't have to scramble and actually do quilt along live. You definitely can if you want. But if you get stuck, don't worry. You can ask your questions during the live, and then you can re-watch later to, pick up and finish. So no rush, just fun.
Yeah, just fun. So yeah, truly, if you just want to watch and not stress about trying to keep up, that's great, because then you'll be able to pay attention and kind of see what's going on. And then when you go back and you rewatch, you can stop it and start it as many times as you want. That's what I love about video. I can learn how to do that stuff as I'm going. So I think that'll be great. Let's see. Is that switching around? Aha. Okay. So here is one of the completed ruler organizers, and you can see I've done straight feathers. I've done feathers on a curvy spine that kind of all wander about. I've done more feathers on a curvy spine that vary on the inside but stay straight on the outside. Different way to do it. Here's that feathered leaf. Circles on quilts, feathered leaf wreath. I got it out twice. So that's that. And here are the feathered leaves that are stitched out just on a little short embellishment. The business side of this project looks like this. There are these 4 pockets, okay? Each pocket has a zipper that, panic not, I'll help you put in the zippers. And these little accent strips that actually cover up a little bit of construction technique. And because of the way these lines are stitched in, it allows the whole project to fold up quite nicely like that. You can tie a ribbon around it and take it with you. I have this one on a little wire hanger, which was just kind of a fun way to do it. I've also put them on wooden dowels with ribbons. All of that works. And your rulers will fit quite nicely in here because the pockets get bigger as they go up to the top. Your big circles on quilts rulers can go up here, and your nice long straight ones can go down here. So that's what the project looks like. Are there any other questions? question?
Lorena, can you hold it up like real close to the camera? I want to see some details, and so does everyone else. So, and then put your hands in where the rulers, oh, so there's the zipper. The orange is the little zipper pull.
Yep. So
Nice.
so
Oh, maybe a little lower.
a little lower. Okay.
There we go. There's
Okay.
it. Nice.
Ready? And each pocket has its zipper. Yep, there we go. So they all come in like this.
And you hold our hands real good for zipper installation, right?
I will, I promise.
Everyone's so scared of zippers. They're not that bad. But and the vinyl. Now, do you have any recommendations? I'm assuming folks can get their heavy duty vinyl from any of their local fabric stores.
I would think so. Yeah. It's not difficult to come by. You can, if you needed to, probably mail order it too. If you need to, the caveat that I give you with that is that it will generally come folded. So you can see how the folds might interfere with what you really wanted to do, but it's not bad. It'd be fine.
Right. I used to sell it at a particular fabric store, and they definitely had it rolled. So, and then you just cut it by the yard, and they had different weights too. Some were a lot thicker, some were a little bit thinner, and it was just, what you would like.
Yeah. And this is sort of a mid-weight. It's not, you're not going to use it for boat windows or tent windows. And it's a little bit heavier than maybe a little tiny coin purse.
And the video, the class is going to be about 2 hours. Is that correct?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
aiming for 2 hours.
Good. I don't remember. I think I put an end time 11 to 1 Pacific time, but if it goes over, that's okay.
Okay, as long as we're okay if we do go over. So,
but it is someone asked, it's a 1-day class. Yes, it's a 1-day class.
Yep. Just
and you can rewatch it, so no worries.
As many times as they want.
Yep.
Okay, so shall I show them a few feathers?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's do that. So I'm gonna pop over to my other camera. And I've got my machine set up. So I don't know if you want to, I think it's ready to go, Sarah, if you want to just switch over. There it is. Okay.
Oh, and now we have the echo issue.
Oh my goodness.
So maybe one of the devices. Yeah, turn off the audio. There we go. Yep, perfect.
Okay, let me turn up my volume because I can't hear you. I turned it way down. Okay, how are we doing now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you great. Can you hear me? Is that good?
I can hear you. Okay. Oh, technology, the things we've learned. Look at that. Look how many things we have learned in this last year that we never knew we needed to know. Okay, so I have my machine all set up for free motion quilting. I've got my ruler work glider on. I have my machine specific foot on. I have a Bernina. So this is my Bernina's number 72 foot. Your Westerly So Steady foot will be perfect. Whatever ruler foot you use for your machine, that's the one you want to use. Let's see. I've got my So Steady table on. My feed dogs are down. I don't think I've played with my tension yet. I didn't actually set my machine up. So let's do that. And I used to keep a little piece of paper next to my machine that was my teaser list. Put the feed dogs down, adjust the tension, adjust the presser foot pressure, all the things that I needed to do for my machine so that it would play nicely with rulers. Now I just have to remember to do them. So I'm using, right now, I'm using a 40 weight cotton. It's King Tut. And it's kind of my go-to thread, in part because it's so easy for people to see what I'm doing. And I want you to be able to see. Now, if I were doing this on a quilt, chances are I wouldn't be using quite as heavy a thread because I want my quilting to be a part of the project. Right now, it's
the whole project. This is kind of what's going on. So I use a pretty heavy cotton thread. And then on the back side, I'm using Glide. It's a 40 weight polyester, but it's a lot finer. Oh, those thread people just mess with us all the time when it comes to thread weights. So I've already, this is a spine that's been stitched in with the feathered spine, or the feather spine. And I've already stitched that in. So I'm just going to come back somewhere on this spine and pull my threads up, just so that I'm on that spine. I'm going to take, I'm picking rulers as I go. I'm going to take the 4-inch feather and play with this a little bit. I'm going to move some of these stickers out so that they're not as distracting. The beauty of these ruler stickers is they're like Post-it notes. They go on, they go off, they go on, they go off. You can use them a whole bunch of times before they get tired. And there are, I don't know, hundreds in the pack, I think. I don't know how many are in the pack, but it's a lot. So I have 2 marks on mine right now. So your feather template is going to have all of these lines on it. And I'll talk about why you would want to mark it. But let me show you how easy it is to do a couple of feathers. So I'm going to line up on my template. And I'll talk about that in the class and how we do that lining up bit. Come around and come back down to that spot. Now I'm going to pop over to the other side and I'm going to do a feather on the other side. Pop right back down into there. Now I want to be able to move. I want to come up this spine. So I'm going to simply, without moving my ruler, I'm simply going to come back to that line that I marked and slide up. And now I'm going to come back and do another feather. Come down, I'm going to touch that spine. I'm going to pop over to the other side and put another feather in over here. I'm going to backtrack right up to there and do it again. So you can kind of see how quickly feathers can go. Pop down here, come back over here. And I'm going to just stop right here and show you what I've done. Pull those threads out. Like I said, I just can't break myself of leaving tails to tie in. It gives me something to do when I'm watching television. Not that I watch that much television. So there are some feathers. That's how quick they are. That's how easy it is to do feathers. And we're going to talk about ways to finish off your feathers, ways to make feathers meet in the middle so that if you've got a nice long border, you can have them come out even. Here are some of those feathers that I've played with on here. Some echo, lots of ways to play with this. So Sarah, any more questions?
Let's see. I do. Someone does want to see that finished project up close again. They really want to see it.
Okay. I'm gonna have to turn the other camera on.
That's all right. I'll be ready to switch over.
Okay. And anything else I can answer verbally while I'm trying to get this set up?
Oh, let's see. Well, there's a couple things I think I'll mention. So I've been updated by my team. Coupons. I know everyone wants to know about them. So the way to get them is to sign up with one of our participating stores And when you go to that sign up link, they're going to be listed. And after you register, give them a call, because then you can either order your supplies through them, and So Steady, we can drop ship to you directly. So even if you're ordering from a store in a, oh, I'm going to wait until we change our audio a little bit. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, audio better.
All right.
So if you order through a store in a different state and you do want to support them, you know, you can still place your order with them, call them. They'll provide a discount code so that you can either purchase on the So Steady website and support them, or you can just order directly with them and you can still get your supplies drop shipped to you. So sooner the better if you do want your supplies for the live class. But again, you're going to have access for 30 days. So no rush, no scramble. You know, supplies can take their time. You can take your time, and then you can watch the recorded version.
Don't panic. Don't panic. It'll all get to you. You'll have plenty of time to do this. This is really, for all the stuff that looks like it's going on, it's really a pretty quick project. So yeah, just sit back and enjoy. If you don't have your supplies yet, sit back and enjoy, and hopefully you're going to have them in plenty of time to be able to complete it within the month that you can watch this, and we'll go from there. Okay, so Sarah, I've got it on the ruler bag. Is there a particular spot that folks want to see?
Someone did want to see the circle wreath a little closer, I think at the top of the head. Mhm.
Yeah. Let's turn it around a little bit. So
Ooh.
there's the feathered leaf circle, okay? And then those are the feathered leaves going straight. So that's what that's going to look like, okay?
Nice.
Those are feathers on that curvy spine that fill a space. And let's see if I can juggle this up here. Those are just basic feathers on a curvy spine, and those are your beginner feathers. So those are where we start, and we'll get to the point where you've got that, and it won't take you any time at all. So
Perfect. Well, let's see. I don't think I see a lot of other comics, but everyone, you know, you can sign up now. You have plenty of time to get the supplies. You'll be able to watch the video after the live broadcast on September 17th. Now, the live will be at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So once you sign up, you will get email communications from us so you can stay up to date. And that'll, you'll be able, sorry, had a message from a colleague there. So definitely sign up early. You'll get access. And then once you're signed up, reach out to one of those participating stores. Let me show that window again, because when you click on the link that I've provided, you're going to see this. So that is what you're going to see. This is where the participating stores are listed right here. So if you want to support one of these stores, and if you need to purchase some of the Westerly rulers or tools, this is where you can, you know, say, hey, I want to click this one or this one. Click on them. And once you're registered, give them a call. Say, hey, Lakeshore Sewing, or hey, Sewing Machines Plus, or hey, El Cajon, or all the other ones. And say, I signed up for that class. We can check your registration, get your coupon code so you can purchase your supplies.
Mhm.
And these host stores, they'll have a lot of other supplies you probably need that we as Society don't carry. We definitely don't have the vinyl because we don't sell that. And actually, that was a question I saw earlier. Do you know how many millimeters or whatever thick your vinyl is? Do you remember? It's such a, I know, it's a hard one.
It does not say on here, and no, I don't remember. I can, you know, it's to
and let me check. I'm going to check really quick on the sign up page if it mentions the.
I don't think so.
It just says heavyweight vinyl.
Yeah.
I would argue, I mean, if you have the opportunity, if you are shopping in store, just touch it, feel it.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be your organizer, you know, kind of how you want it to feel. Yeah. Another good question we did have, can you use these rulers on a mid-arm? Oh, yes.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Quilting with the Westerly line can be for mid-arms, long arm, and domestics. This course, you can do it on any of those machine options for sure. Mm-hmm. Ruler work is definitely for everyone.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I would suggest though that if you are doing this project on a long arm, you will need more fabric because you'll need to be able to pin in and kind of hang on to stuff. So you'll probably need a little more fabric than those of us working on a domestic or a mid arm. We don't have to worry about those edges. So yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like maybe definitely if you are ready for a long arm experience, perhaps watching the recorded version may behoove you. Watch it through one time, and then you'll know your needs as a long armor. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And then another question, where's the contact info for stores? So again, on that link I put in there, we list the stores. We have their city and state. Quick Google search, you'll find them, no questions. If you just type in their city, state, they'll come right up. A lot of them have multiple store locations, so you can just pick the one you want. So there may be a variety of phone numbers to contact. And of course, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us, sosteady.com. I'll put our email, our general email. We try to get to those in a couple business days. And I'll also put in our So Steady phone number, just in case. We're Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time. We'll try to answer all your questions, but most of it will be on that sign-up sheet. Take a look. It's $10. You get the project, and you get personalized service and education from Lorena on the day.
And we and I always try to answer your questions as we're going, because if you don't understand it, if I haven't explained something that works for you, give me another chance and I'll make another run at it and see if I can't turn my words around a little bit so that you're coming along too, because I really want everybody to have fun with this. So
nice. Well, perfect. I think that was great, Lorena. I hope everyone is excited and can hop on our website, and I'll put the sign up link again in the description field. Just click that link and follow it, and there we go. It's posted again. And when in doubt, you can always shoot us an email over at info@sosteady. We'll remind you where you need to go. And then you can get sewing, get those templates organized, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Excellent.
Thank you, everyone. It's been fun.
Thank you.